Hello there, welcome back to the channel, where we talk about stuff happening in the VTuber world. And today we talk about this artist right here, who's complaining on Twitter because her customer failed to finish paying for their VTuber model. The story only gets a little more complicated from there on out, so bear with me. So before we begin, just a short TLDR, this VTuber Amarazu actually is an artist who took on a commission. The customer was supposed to pay her $400 in exchange for a VTuber model. Money was exchanged before the VTuber model was completed, but the customer couldn't finish paying for the VTuber model after it was completed. In fact, the customer only paid $300 out of the $400 necessary for the commission. Therefore, Amarazu still hasn't been paid $100 that was owed to her. So she took to Twitter to complain, and you can see it has 1 million views. So a lot of people are talking about the situation, so we're covering it. We have Amarazu, the VTuber artist, saying, "Beware artists of the customers at Aliyahili and at BBYS. Read on my experiences, I was approached to do my first VTuber model art around June 13, 2023. I had explained that it was my first time doing it, so it may be scuffed. So I offered it at a more affordable price of $400. Now we take a look at the screenshots. She says, oh, this is actually the customer speaking. So she's saying, I mean, also if you need practice with doing models, you can do mine, lol. And we have the VTuber artist, Amarazu, saying, I've separated and drawn models of my own, so I know how to cut and name. I definitely give it to you for a discounted price as you'd be my first full body model. I would be really honored if you considered that. Trusted I would pour my heart and soul to making it as perfect as possible for you. And then we have the customer saying, oh my god, for real? I would love that. Your style is literally perfect, said the customer. Now we have the customer saying, I'm paying you what you deserve until this model is done. What did she say? Moving on, we have Amarazu saying, I offered to do the VTuber model at a more affordable price of $400, which we agreed to pay in separate payments until the model was complete, meaning she, the customer, would only receive the model once it was fully paid off, as that was how commissions worked. I sent the initial request for payment on October 10th, 2023. The model has been completed within 6 months. Amarazu provides DMs proving this. We have the customer speaking saying, were you serious about doing my VTuber model? We have Amarazu saying, absolutely, if you're up for it. The customer would say, yes, I love it. How much would you charge for it? With Amarazu saying, truly considering it, it would probably be $400, including rigging. With the customer saying, oh, okay, would it be okay to pay? And then it's redacted. And now we're on Discord, and we have Amarazu, the VTuber artist, talking to Aliyah, the customer, saying, I've added another expression and adjusted the hair. She's practically finished. All her layers have been cut and named. And we can see the VTuber model is almost ready. Amarazu continues her story saying, she, the customer, has yet to pay me as there's still a $100 fee left, meaning it's been 14 months, a year and 2 months, that she has had to pay for the model, and that was time to express her issues concerning financial troubles. 2 months later, I had updated her that the model was complete and that she would receive it whenever she was able to pay out the rest of the money she owed. She didn't reply until 2 months later, stating she could not pay it off and told me to sell it. With Aliyah here saying, Amarazu saying, hi, and Aliyah saying, I'm so sorry, redacted. I don't know if I can even afford it anymore. Plus, I don't even stream that much anymore because working late, and is there a way we can still sell it? And Amarazu would say, absolutely, Bean. Aliyah would apologize, saying, I'm so sorry, and Amarazu, the artist, would say, no worries, doll, we can split it. And Aliyah would thank Amarazu, saying, thank you, I really appreciate it. Amarazu says, I let her know that I would try and update her if she, referring to the VTuber model, got sold. I attempted to sell twice and discounted the model price, but unfortunately, the model did not sell. And I never pestered her, referring to Aliyah, about the remaining $100 that she owed. I let her know that if the model did not sell, then it would still be available for her to receive if she paid off the rest of it at any time frame. He, referring to Aliyah, sent me a message asking about if it sold, in which I told her no. And then she began to become aggressive and dismissive of my work, demanding her money back, saying, okay, these are the screenshots of the DMs. We have Aliyah, the customer, saying, just making sure, is there any update on selling that model? Redacted. And I really need to make that money back. We have the artist, Amarazu saying, "Hey, still no update unfortunately, I'm so sorry." And Aliyah would say, "Is there any way to get something back?" Redacted. We have Amarazu, the artist, apologizing, saying, "I don't think so, I really apologize, but I'm also working towards my bills as well. But if it makes you feel any better, the model will still be available to you for later once you settle, if it doesn't get sold." Aliyah, the customer, would say, "I really don't need it anymore, Ame. I'm not into streaming much and it's going to be a while. I really need it to be sold, or at least try harder to sell it. That's $300 that I basically just gave the fuck away." And we have Amarazu, the artist, saying, "Hey, I'm going to try to sell it again one more time. But if it doesn't get sold, then it just doesn't. I'm sorry, there's not much I can do. In order to initially commission me, you automatically agree to the TOS, terms and conditions, whether you read it or not. Here's a screenshot of my TOS concerning refunds. TOS number 4. Refunds/cancellation. A refund cannot be requested after I start the commission. If for any reason I see that I'm unable to continue your commission, I will refund you 100% or offer an alternative, such as another type of artwork. Claiming dissatisfaction with the finished piece does not warrant a refund, as the commissioner has had the entire process to voice concerns. Doing this will result in being blacklisted. If you have any questions, please DM or send me an email. I agree with the terms of service." Yeah, it's all here in black and white and pink. Basically, Amarazu covered herself. And, the customer is making a fuss regarding how she can't recoup her money back because on the one hand, she already paid for the model, but on the other hand, she can't finish paying for the model because she's not streaming anymore and she has a lot of work to do in IRL. This is a tricky situation to navigate, so I can see why she would be so upset. But I can also see why Amarazu would feel a little upset as well because, the customer already clicked the terms of service, so she's bound by it. Amarazu continues saying she no longer wanted the model and said that I owe her the money because she had no use for the model, nor did she receive it despite it being mentioned multiple times throughout different months that she'd only received the model only if it was fully paid off. With Aliyah saying, "I cannot easily get the $300 back. You do not know my situation, and the fact that you can't even give back a refund, or even just a bit back since I'm not using it or will no longer receive it, is very upsetting. I did plan on using it before the situation I am in now involuntarily. You have not been trying to sell it since we have discussed when I have asked multiple times to try and keep selling it." Amarazu would respond saying, "You do not know my situation either. I cannot give back anything because that's what's written in my terms of service to protect me. Anyone can decide at any time, no matter what the situation they're in, that they have no use for a model art or art I've done anymore and request the money back, but the work has already been done and sent, so that basically leaves me with nothing. Meanwhile, they can walk away with free art, which is not the point of a commission. Doesn't change the fact that you had many chances to speak out and request or ask about a partial refund before the model was complete. It's your responsibility to have read and understood what can and cannot be done regardless of what situation you're in. Let me make it clear that you won't receive anything because you have yet to complete your responsibility of the payment, which we have agreed on, and you will not receive a refund of any kind, not even partial, because the art has been completed, and that is stated within my TOS. In regards to selling, I have done as much as I could along with discounting it, and the VTuber model just unfortunately hasn't been sold. It hasn't worked out. So I would try to sell it again, but that was never the end goal, nor was it promised in my TOS if things did not work out. With more DMs where both the artist and customer are arguing, we begin with Aliyah saying, "I get it, Eme, but I have no use for it. I will try to dispute further." Amarazu, the artist, responds, "It does not matter whether you need or not because you approached me for this art and it's not fair to suddenly decide you do not want it anymore. When I had asked you if you were still planning to use it and you said yes. You had 2 months and more to let me know if you did not want it anymore, yet you didn't. When I had spent hours of my time and messaged you the model was done, you told me you couldn't pay me. I didn't even get upset. Instead, I offered we could sell it. When it didn't sell, I did not pester you to pay me. Instead, I let you off. I sent the request for the money 14 months ago. The model took me 6 months and you still owe me. The fact that you have the audacity to ask me for money when you owe me is ridiculous and frankly very rude and disrespectful. my work and time. If you want to dispute, go ahead because I clearly have my terms of service stated and you cannot commission me without reading my TOS. Cannot argue, and you did not get the art when we had communicated that you'd only receive the model and art once the payment is fully fulfilled. You can easily make $300 back, but I cannot get all the time I spent on this model back. Okay, so it's getting a little more intense. We have the customer trying to dispute the payment with the payment processor, and it gets heated. PayPal has entered the dispute. I guess they've been using PayPal as the payment processor, and that's where the dispute went. With Emirazu saying, "It's not fair that I had done my part in spending countless hours drawing, separating a model, only for her to demand the money back when she did not even pay the initial amount agreed on at the start. The case has been deferred because the last payment she sent was over 6 months ago." Emirazu provides a screenshot of a PayPal window saying the case redacted has been deferred. One of your buyers recently visited the resolution center and opened a dispute against the payment. The buyer wished to dispute the payment redacted sent on the 3rd of June 2024. We have deferred this dispute because it was not opened within our filing deadline, and we will not investigate for now. Although this dispute is deferred, we know that the buyer was unhappy with this transaction, so you must respond if we decide to look at this transaction in the future. We encourage you to contact the buyer and to provide whatever customer service is needed to resolve this. Tough luck, she's already done that. That's why the dispute was filed in the first place. And that's basically the end of this entire controversy. And Emirazu, the VTuber artist, has had to put up a polite reminder not to send any hate to anyone involved. As usual, whenever you get controversy, you get views, followers, and more impressions. Emirazu is actually promoting her commission page since everything blew up. She's saying, "I really didn't expect this to kind of blow up, but here are my socials." She shows her card. In case you want to keep up with me, if you're curious about commissions, I will be updating here on when they'll reopen, so keep an eye out. We have someone called Nix Amarius expressing some pity for the artist Emirazu for her situation, saying, "I'm so sorry you went through that. Your art is absolutely beautiful and I can't wait to work with you in the future. Gave them," referring to the customer, Aliyah, "your time, patience, and kindness. It saddens me that they return nothing but aggression towards you. Those who cherish your talent will always be here to support you, no matter what. I'm so proud of you for standing your ground and enforcing your TOS for your protection." Now we have Emirazu, the artist, responding saying, "Thank you so much, dear Nix. I adore you. You've always been nothing but so kind and patience back. I'll try to be more cautious next time." Emirazu has had a happy ending of sorts since she's able to promote her card to a bunch of people on the internet. So what's happened to the extremely controversial customer, Aliyah? What's happened to her? Where is she? Well, she's disappeared. She actually deleted her Twitter account. The account doesn't even exist anymore. Yeah, she couldn't handle the heat and she's gone. Judging from Emirazu's previous tweet, there was another person she warned about, and I think it's this girl, Lilac BBYS, and I think this is the second Twitter account for Aliyah, I guess? And it's still here, but the posts are protected. So there's that. So I guess she hasn't officially left and she's still here. You can see here in her original tweet, she cites Lilac BYS as one of the persons to be aware of. So I think Lilac is basically Aliyah, but on a different Twitter account. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. This is Terry Nebula signing out.